mom didn't get out of the car. She sucked her boyfriend's dick in the parking lot. Okay, so another segment in Guda is a retard that deleted his data. We did the best we could, and now I'm redoing all the videos. There might be some cases where I'm confused or the editors are confused, and the same information makes it into a couple videos. I apologize if that happens. I think I told the story of all the friends that I remembered having through my progression of my life. Good friends or friends that I can just remember, I guess. So, I guess the first friend I can remember, I have no clue what his name was. I remember hanging out with him. He lived like in the same block as me, so we could walk to each other's house without crossing the street. And we were little, because I moved out of that house at 5. What I remember about that friend is the conversation that we had. The conversation that we had at like 4? I don't know at what age parents let kids walk. They were probably on the phone waiting and looking out the window, you know. We were probably even out of sight because my mother probably watched us to this corner, and then his mother probably watched us the whole way down that way. So, but maybe not. I don't know. Obviously, I was not kidnapped or killed. And this conversation was, do you believe that there's aliens? And the conclusion that we came to together was, yes, there had to be aliens, because how could we just be the only ones? That just didn't make any sense to us at 4. And how could that even be possible? So that's the first friend, you know, and I had like some friends, and maybe other people have friends like this, friends that they have that are like friends through your parents on occasions. Like my mom used to go round up kids for my birthday because I have a really fucked up birthday. December 24th is a horrible day to be born, as is the 25th or the 26th or January, no, probably not January 1st. I'd say any other holiday association is probably good, but Christmas has just this, and then there's the whole other religions and their birthdays, but I don't know them because I'm just an ignorant person that doesn't really like religion much. Probably started because I hated Christmas because it ruined my birthday. I would have these imported friends, one of them being David. Well, so it's David and Donnie, I think. My mom's lawyer from the divorce, because I don't remember any other friends. I do remember one other friend. It was on my dad's, like my middle name is from a dad's friend that died. And that kid, he was another one of those parents' friends group. Probably, you know, like playing together as babies and shit, you know. So, then I moved out to this Oregon City house. And out there, I don't really have any actual, like, friends, I guess. Just more like, I guess friends are just here to play with as a kid. There was a few kids out there that lived across the street. One was a babysitter, I think. Yeah, she was a little pervert. She used to fucking babysit me. And then, like, make me walk around naked or in my underwear. Yeah, it was bizarre. Or cuddle with her naked. And so I must have been like 6, 5, maybe older. 8. She was like 14 or 12 or some shit. I guess I was a hot kid. Not really. I did have girlfriends. First girlfriend I had, Valinda, that was in like the 6th grade. Heidi, that was in like the 7th grade. I lived out of district most though. when the girlfriend boyfriend thing really started kicking off, I lived so far away from where I went to school that it just was tough with friends. I moved so much too, to total different areas, and just never really stayed friends. Like I lived in Seattle and Westport and Milwaukee, Gladstone, Selwood, Northeast Gateway, Portland, Northeast Portland Gateway area. It was like I went from mom and dad to mom to dad. So when I was with my mom in Oregon City, like I had those friends that lived across the street. God, I went to that weird ass Milk Creek Little School. There was like one kid, like, I don't know, my mom friended up with some parent, and then I would end up at that kid's house. My mom had some career where she was just gone all the time, right? I mean, literally, like, she was up at like some ridiculous hour in the morning getting me to school, and then not home until like after dark. So anyway, didn't really have much friend action going on in the Milk Creek Little School. So moving forwards, when I lived out in this little end of Courtney Avenue, I had some friends, quite a few acquaintances, kids, friends, you know, I guess they're all friends when you're kids. But there was just tons of kids in these apartments. But there was just all this, you know, like tons of kids in these apartments, and next to the apartments was this huge tract of land. And this huge tract of land had a family that lived on it that was just, holy cow, like, it was a little stick figure of a dad, and he was a white guy with an afro, so he might have been just a little bit black or something. And then the mother was just, you know, 500-pounder. And then the kids, I think it was Scott and Kevin. I think that was their names. And Scott, the oldest, he was a fat kid. And then Kevin was, I think he was fat too, but just not as much so. And they had this huge property that had the best fort-making bushes in the world. Had these super old, it's like an evergreen leaf. It's like a shrub tree thing that just grows. They had a huge one of those that once you went inside, it was like a whole entire village in there, basically. And then big cedar trees that were just huge and old, and then had just, you know, for some reason it was all cleared out next to them. So it was like and then they had like apple trees, old apple trees. And, you know, kids love throwing shit at each other. So, I mean, their property was just like the coolest place to play. But they were always grounded, always in trouble. They were some of the most beat up kids I ever knew in my life. They were getting their ass kicked ritually. Yeah, freaking poor kids. So, and you were not allowed to go in their house, and just, I mean, it was just crazy. So then there was, and I don't know why I remember them so much. I guess but then there was all these other kids that I don't even remember their names that lived in the houses or in the same apartments that I did, right? And then there was this guy, he lived down the street, him and his sister. I remember him so much because he was a weed dealer in high school and snitched everybody out, got like 90 kids expelled from high school right before graduation for weed. And then he became this big white supremacist or Nazi or something like that. Jason Stevens. So him, and I think I remember him because his sister was so cute that I just always was like staring at her. And, you know, it was just so many kids around that whole time in that whole area. I mean, it was literally like, it was just, this was like the 80s, and it was just riddled with kids. They were just everywhere. We were just filthy, troublemaking little kids. At one time we found all these tiles behind this lady's house that we thought were garbage because she just was one of those hoarders. And she had like this Mexican dude who was working for her. And we just like were breaking those tiles on this pavement next to the, oh, we got in so much trouble. All of us got beat the frick up by our parents. And then I went and moved with my mom and my stepdad on a houseboat voyage with no kids, 0. But there was my little brother. So we had been, not really seeing each other much for years. So then we were just hanging out all the time. And then like these other kids moved. David, Donnie, and Danny. Oh, those guys, total motorheads. And those guys were just all about cars. They went to Benson High School, which was a big car tech high school in Portland Public. And they were kind of our friends, my little brother. My little brother was like close to the age of the youngest brother of theirs. And then I was like in between the older 2 brothers. And then they had an older sister that was super cute. I freaking just had the biggest crush on her. And she would dress all, so she listened to like Depeche Mode and Wham, and dressed in that whole like garb, Breakfast Club looking. She was super cute. And their mom was this uber slut that I don't even know how the fuck she did it. And she literally just snaked this dude's house. I mean, this dude lived on a houseboat by himself and then hooked up with this lady that ended up fucking running him out of his own house. I don't know the details behind that, but she ended up owning the house. I don't know how or what, but anyway. So those kids were my friends, kind of. I mean, it was just like, I always felt like they were trying to get over on us or steal from us, or, it was just, maybe not always, but, they were a real tight family. They came from like some rural area. I think this dad was beating the fuck out of them really bad, so they all moved got away. Somehow the mother got in with this other guy and moved out there. And I remember when they were, I guess they were kind of good friends, because I literally went and spent the night at their house that they lived in before they moved fully to the houseboat voyage. So I guess we were pretty good friends, enough to be spending the night and stuff. And his sister smoked cloves, so I was trying to be cool when she's like, I'm out of cloves, and I went into their cupboard and got out their cloves. I don't remember. Clove cigarettes probably aren't made from the actual cloves. Maybe those are an ingredient. I just don't know. Anyway, that's what I remember about the night when I spent over to their house. And what would we do? We lived on a houseboat voyage, so the things we did were very unique. Like one point I was rowing this little rowboat that I had around, selling tours, or trying to sell tours. But we used to have access as kids to like the moorage workboat. On this one occasion, there was this fancy restaurant right next to the houseboat moorage. It's called Salty's. They had an ice carving sculpture. David and Donnie and their mom, like Salty's did some kind of fucked up thing, pissed their mom off or something. I don't remember the details, but they were over there with some friends of theirs that all went to Benson. So there was maybe David, Donnie, Danny, and then 2 of their guy friends that were hanging out with them. And then me, and I don't know if my little brother was around or not, but I got in on it when they were like in the middle of stealing this ice sculpture from Salty's. There was some guy that was carving it outside behind the place, which was like, there was a path right over, and these guys got it and they put it in the freezer at their house. And there was all these fucking chefs running around. I'll never forget it. There was just like mad chefs just running around looking and accusing and all this shit, right? Well, there was a decision made to give it back to them. I think this was me. And the big thing was like, nobody wanted to get exposed for stealing it, right? So I think this was my plan, right? Was for all those guys that they thought stole it to go up there and deal with them in the parking lot. And then me and one of those guys would take the workboat and take the ice sculpture back over and drop it on the dock. Well, this guy was a fucking knucklehead. The plan was this, that I was driving the boat. Me and him lifted the thing up together and set it on the boat together. And we had a towel over it. And the plan was, wait until I put the boat up to the dock, and then I'll come help you. What did he do? Grabbed it and did it himself and set it down too hard, and he broke it. It was like a ram or a buck or an elk or something, like standing up, you know, and the legs broke. Fucking idiot. Like, that really pissed me off, right? Like, he didn't go according to the plan. This whole was my plan, right? Like, we're gonna give it back and we're not gonna get caught and everything's gonna be fine. But this douchebag idiot, fucking motorhead motherfucking Benson High Tech, doesn't listen to the fucking plan. Oh, big strong guy, just do it by myself. Yeah, you broke it, you fucking idiot. I fucking was ragging on that dude too, man. And you know, it's like he didn't even really care. He was such a fucking douchebag. We called, told him, you know, hoping they could fix it or something. But it would have been funny if it didn't get broke. And I didn't have any part of stealing it in the first place, but I was trying to get it back to him without getting caught and without breaking it. And I think what happened is they put it in the freezer. Those people had it outside so it would soften up so they could work with it, because soft ice works easier than really cold ice. Well, they stole it and put it in the refrigerator or in the freezer so it wouldn't melt, thus getting it fucking uber cold. It didn't help that this knucklehead just grabbed it and just, you know, muscled it up there by himself. Like, what the fuck, dude? Idiot. Yeah. So anyway, and it's funny, I still feel bad about that to this day, and I'm not even the one that fucking stole it. You know, the mom ended up, you know, taking the guy's house, getting a new boyfriend. One night we were fucking drinking. We had stolen a bunch of champagne from someplace. Like, we were just constantly trying to steal booze. And on a houseboat mortgage where, like, the official arm position is this, like, everybody was a drunk. Everybody was drinking all the time. Super easy to get booze. I drank like a whole bottle of warm champagne and was puking like a fire hose in the parking lot. And I was there with Danny and Donnie. And you know, we had one other friend that showed up a few years later. I don't remember his name. I think he was, yeah, he was there too. And they all literally saw their mom show up. Oh shit, mom's home. Oh, we're all in the parking lot drinking. Oh fuck, we're in trouble. But mom didn't get out, their mom didn't get out of the car. She sucked her boyfriend's dick in the parking lot. And her sons watched. And let me just tell you, this lady, she was not a MILF. She was an extremely, I saw her naked once. Childbirth can be really, really hard on a woman and can rearrange their entire look. And her daughter was smoking hot, so I'm assuming before she had kids, that was, you know, she was a hella more attractive. she just was one of those ladies that just was not attractive at all, but would just act like she was. Kind of creeped me out about those guys, how they watched. I really wasn't watching because I was too busy puking. Which, you know, some people might think, you know, getting yourself so drunk that you puke like a fire hose is worse than watching your mom suck her boyfriend's dick. I'll let you decide. Let me know down in the comment section below.